My name is Stephanie Fries, and I'm from California, all around. I just figured out last year that I have visual snow. I've had it my whole life. The only reason I found out that I have it was I noticed an intensity in the visual snow symptoms when, probably last summer, when I was also at the same time experiencing some neurological issues that were just diagnosed as pernicious anemia in March of this year. So that's why I'm here. I wanted to learn a little bit more and also find out why I think the way that I see the world is kind of amazing as opposed to everybody else in like the visual snow community that seems to be very panicked by this. And so yeah, I'm very fascinated by it, and I wanted to learn more from the doctors instead of these doctors here instead of Dr. Google, because Dr. Google wasn't very helpful. I think I figured out why everybody else seems to hate it is apparently they're seeing this in black and white, so they're not seeing the amazing laser light show that I'm seeing. That might be it, because what people are describing as black and white dots I see as like glitter, and it's constantly changing color. And I also get some pretty amazing, I mean, the way that I've always been able to get myself to go to sleep at night is able to do the closed eye hallucinations, and that kind of just gets me to dreamland. And sometimes it can be pretty colorful and amazing, and I know that is a symptom of visual snow. It was one of the questions I wanted to ask the doctors here today, but didn't get a chance. If that was a common symptom of visual snow, the closed eye hallucinations, I can also do it with my eyes open in a dimly lit room. So yeah, I wanted to know, because I figured if everybody else can do this, like, why don't they think it's amazing? I thought that I was a special unicorn once I figured out this is not something everybody can do. I think the moment that I figured it out, the aha moment, was when sometime early last year, well, no, it's probably about March, April, May, I was spending a lot of time in bed because of the neurological issues I was having, and I thought, you know, this would be a great time to finally learn how to meditate. I'd always wanted to and asked my friends who did it, and I really didn't understand why I wasn't able to do it. I had tried over and over, and I thought maybe I just don't understand the concept. But then in talking to one of my friends and explaining, you know, how can you clear your mind of thoughts when you have, you know, like fireworks and, you know, these morphing color blobs, you know, constantly, you know, when you're with your eyes closed, like how can you concentrate, or not concentrate rather, on that stuff? And nobody seemed to know what the hell I was talking about. So I went and did a Google search. I Dr. Googled, and I came across the closed eye hallucination Wikipedia page, and on there was a little black square, and it was talking about visual snow, and it said, this is a representation of what visual snow looks like. And there's a black square on the screen, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, okay, visual snow looks like a black square. And then I realized that, oh, I don't see it because everything looks the same. So I had to zoom in. I was looking at it on my phone, and I had to zoom in to make the, I guess, the grain larger, so that there would be contrast between what I was seeing and what was on the screen for me to actually see that there was something moving there. I think that was the aha moment for me. I wasn't convinced that not everybody saw what I saw, because that just didn't make sense to me. So yeah, I've had this my whole life, but then yeah, I noticed kind of an increase in intensity in the symptoms, last year around the same time. And then that kind of got me a little bit concerned, but it was also fun at the same time. The photophobia part is awful. If I could remove that aspect of the whole thing, that would be fantastic. Everything else is a-okay, and I'm a little I'm a little fearful that like when they do have, you know, come up with a cure or whatever for this, that if I try it, or, you know, I don't know that I want it. That's the thing, because I don't really know what something looks like for you. And I don't know that it's better than what I'm seeing, because what I see is pretty damn great, I think. So, I don't know. And another interesting part of, I guess, my story is probably the reason why I never figured this out is my closest female friend. I also just found out from her a couple months ago when I went to go visit her, that she also has visual snow. And she's had it her whole life, and she asked her mom about it at some point, and her mom says, yeah, I see the same stuff, you're not crazy. And when we would always hang out, she would always kind of give me that confirmation, like, no, you're okay, I see the same thing. They don't know what they're talking about. We're cool, we're special, you know? So, yeah. So I guess that was part of the reason why it took me so long to figure out that this was even a thing. It's pretty sparkly. It's almost like this fine, it looks like there's glitter. The air is made of kind of like this cloudy glitter, and around objects, it kind of blankets everything. And so, you know, you've got these lines here, but it's very animated, and nothing is really a straight line because there's a lot of motion and movement around every edge of every object. And which is interesting because I noticed a lot of people were saying that they have, you know, difficulty seeing in the dark, which is true for me as well. There are certain, you know, I guess, environments where it's you know, I can't really see anything at all, but not always. Sometimes it seems like the snow, I guess, the sparkles are so lit up. I don't know if it's from my own inner light or something, you know, maybe a light somewhere off in the distance that's kind of lighting up the room that I don't realize. But it often makes it easier to get around in the darkness when I'm experiencing that, because the snow, I guess, kind of blankets the objects, and it makes it a lot easier to navigate around things in the dark. I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's kind of how it is for me. Probably about half the time. In my house, when I'm in my house, that's how it is. When I'm outside, it's a different story, but when I'm inside my house, I'm able to get around in the dark no problem because of the snow. It makes me a pretty great softball player, I'll tell you that. And I'm a little, because of the trails, because I can, if I knew that other people could not see trajectory paths like that, then I would have become an engineer. You know, I mean, I definitely went into the wrong field. So, I mean, there's a lot of benefits that I don't think people realize, or maybe I'm almost wondering if people who are kind of, you know, cool with this, that they're not really thinking there's anything wrong with them. Like, I never thought anything was wrong with me. I just thought I was really good at softball, you know? I thought everybody could see what I could see. But, I mean, the only thing that is starting to bother me, and I don't know if it's just age and my eyes are getting a little worse, but reading has become a bit difficult, but I have some workarounds, and, you know, old people like me, we do audiobooks, it's cool, so, you know. The only thing that really bothers me is the photophobia, and that gets a little out of control, but I'm fortunate enough to live in the San Francisco Bay Area, so sunshine, you know, doesn't come around too often here. So overcast days are, you know, how I operate best. You know, those are the conditions that work best for me. I was rather dismayed after kind of discovering that this was a thing, going on to Facebook and looking for, you know, a group with other people that have this, oh, my community, you know. And then finding all these people, you know, all whipped up in a panic and saying, oh, this is ruining my life. I can't live like this. This is awful. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? That was, I still don't really know what to make of that. Other than, I guess this would suck if it was all in black and white. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know that I want treatment because I'm worried I'm gonna lose parts of my daily life that have been with me since I can remember. Like waking up in the morning and, you know, kind of starting the day with my eyes closed and kind of visualizing things, you know, and then seeing the cosmos behind my eyelids and just you know, and when I go to bed at night, you know, my ritual when I fall asleep, I don't want to lose those things, and I'm not, I'm not sure how to proceed, but I'm definitely, you know, I'm a curious person by nature, and I'm, you know, endlessly fascinated by finding out about this and learning about, you know, the research that's being done. So, yeah, I guess this will be a journey for me like everyone else, but I don't know, I'm going to have a little bit different attitude about it going forward, I guess. I guess know that I've had this my entire life, and it's cool. I'm cool with it. It's okay. You can live a normal life. I go to work, you know, 5 days a week. I've never had an issue. You know, there are always workarounds, and some of the stuff you don't realize are workarounds if you don't know that you have a problem. So just think about it that way, because I've figured out that, you know, a lot of the things I do are workarounds, but I've never viewed them as such. So it's all in your perspective. I mean, I hope everybody else can maybe get to a point where they're excited to be special. I don't know.